In today's video, I want to take a look at the brand new PlayStation Store Flash Sale. Not a huge sale, but the deals that are available, I would say, are pretty good, so we'll have a look at that. Also, if you guys were looking forward to getting The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer at launch, we've got some unfortunate news, but Naughty Dog has put out a lengthy statement about their multiplayer plans for the future, and I do want to highlight that. And finally, new Mafia trademarks could mean a new game in the Mafia franchise, as well as, here's what I'm really excited for, a Mafia 2 remastered. That's something that would get me going. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but first up, let's talk the brand new PlayStation Store sale, as there are some pretty good deals, probably highlighted by Control, which yes, is seeing a little bit of a discount. It's 20% off for $47.99. Now, Control was a game that released just a little over a month ago. In actuality, it released a month ago to the day, so how about that? This is a game that I played quite a bit of, and I do think it's a rather good game. However, I don't think it's perfect. I do think it's incredibly strong from a gameplay standpoint. Some of the storytelling elements I feel like are a little bit disconnected. I feel like that's also something that Remedy tried to go with and tried to add this air of mystery to the game, but I feel like that did more damage to the storytelling rather than it making this mysterious and engrossing game. So a little bit of a disconnection there, but $48 for the game I do think is pretty good. However, do know that if you're getting into Control, do not be expecting a game that's going to have a lot of longevity in its gameplay. This is a game that you're going to play a couple times. You're going to beat it pretty quickly. 15 hours is about a reasonable amount of time if you do the side content as well, but it's rather good in that 15 hours. I should also note that the Digital Deluxe Edition is available for $64, and that also includes the Season Pass as well as some other content. The Season Pass itself is pretty sizable, as it's going to include 2 story DLCs, so that is pretty notable, and that is on sale standalone for $20, so if you were to buy the base game as well as the Season Pass, that would be $68. You could save a little bit if you get the Digital Deluxe Edition, get some in-game items on top of that, so that's not a bad option. Another great deal, how about the Yakuza Origins bundle? For those of you looking to get into Yakuza, this is a great way to do so. It's 25% off from $49.99 to $37.49. Now, this includes Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. And if you divide $37.49 by 3, if my math is correct, you're getting each game for $12.50. I think my math is on point as far as that's concerned, but $12.50 for Yakuza 0, $12.50 for Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2. That is a great deal, and Yakuza 0 is a fantastic entry point to the series. It should be noted that Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2 are, of course, originally PlayStation 2 games, so they don't hold up as well. However, they are still really good games, especially in the case of Kiwami 2. So all of that for $37.49 I think is quite a good buy. There's also the Yakuza bundle with Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. That's not on sale since it's not out in its entirety yet, but you can check that out as well. And of course, Yakuza 6 has been out for a little bit on PlayStation 4 as well. Wolfenstein Youngblood Deluxe Edition is available, 25% off for $29.99. That's not the best game in the world. It's okay. The Deluxe Edition includes the Buddy Pass, so you can invite somebody to play with you cooperatively, and they don't have to own the game, although be mindful of the fact that they won't be getting trophies if they go that way, but they can still experience the game, so that's a nice addition. If you want more Wolfenstein, $30 for it isn't terrible, so check it out if you are interested. Songbird Symphony is 25% off for $12.74. That's a very charming game. Definitely would recommend that. Even though that's a hefty price, I still would say it's really worth it. Etherborn is 25% off for $12.74. That's a very well-presented game, and it's a relatively recent release, so not a bad buy there. Stranger Things 3, the game, is $9.99. Team Sonic Racing is 50% off for $19.99. That is an awesome deal, and Team Sonic Racing is a fantastic kart racer, so if you're looking for that gameplay experience, that is a really good one. I would probably say that Crash Team Racing from a fundamental standpoint is a better and more well-designed game, but Team Sonic Racing offers a lot to like as well, and if you're more into Sonic than Crash, well, this is the one to go with, and CTR is still holding up in price, so this for 20 bucks is quite good. Shakedown Hawaii, 25% off for $14.99, not a bad buy there. Fate to Silence is 40% off for $29.99. Here is a phenomenal deal. Felseal Arbiter's Mark is 35% off for $19.49. If you want a quality strategy RPG with great visuals and engrossing gameplay, and a really good story as well, that is a game that's going really under the radar. It released all the way back in April of this year, and unfortunately not that many people checked it out. Those that did really enjoyed it. The game's reception was strong. However, again, it's just not translating into a mainstream extent, but a great game nonetheless, and at south of $20, definitely would give that a recommendation. World War Z is 40% off for $24. That is a great buy, and if you have a couple of friends to play with, World War Z offers a lot of high quality multiplayer gameplay. They've stayed really committed committed them and Saber Interactives in updating the game and keeping it a little fresh with new content. And considering it's still a relatively recent release, $24 for it, I would say is a really good buy. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition, while it might be the worst title for a remastered I think I've ever heard in my life, it is 70% off for $8.99, and it is an absolutely awesome game. Red Faction Guerrilla is so much fun. If you want a no-nonsense open world game where you can just run around, blow stuff up, have a lot of fun, it is a lot of fun. I can't say enough good things about Red Faction Guerrilla. I paid $60 for that game all the way back in June of 2009, and I got my money's worth back then, and if you're picking up now, over 10 years later, it's still a worthwhile playthrough. As an open world game, of course, it doesn't have the depth of, say, a Witcher 3 or some of the other major open world games, or Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Faction Guerrilla offers a lot of fun, and for $9, I would say it's a great buy. Battle Chasers Night War is 75% off for $7.49. That is a really good buy there. A lot of RPG fun to be had with that one. Visually, it's pretty good. Gameplay is solid. And for $7.50, it's not a bad buy. Elex is down to $18. A little bit of an interesting RPG. At $60, it was just way too expensive. At $18, you can find some fun out of it. Just keep your expectations in line. And you might be surprised with that one. Dirt 4 is $12. I do see Dirt Rally plus PlayStation VR bundle. That's down to $9.99. And those are really the notable deals of this sale. Again, it is a smaller sale, but there are some highlights, whether it be Control, the Yakuza Origins bundle, Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark, Team Sonic Racing, Sniper Elite V2 Remastered is also on sale. That's not a bad buy. And a couple of other good deals like World War Z, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered is great. Alex is honestly not terrible at $18, and Battle Chasers Night War is a great buy as well. Alright, moving on from that, I do want to quickly cover the news about The Last of Us Part 2 in regards to multiplayer. Naughty Dog put out an official statement because there was a lot of talk about multiplayer and what's going on with that, so we finally got some clarity, and they noted, quote, "We wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we've stated, the single-player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, as development began on the evolution of our factions mode from The Last of Us Part 1, the vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single-player campaign. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that The Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as a part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined, but rest assured we are as big of a fan of factions as the rest of our community, and we are excited to share more when it's ready." I think this is the best case scenario because it's clear as day that Naughty Dog is putting a greater emphasis than ever on this single player component, and this is going to be their biggest single player experience ever. It's not necessarily going to be a colossal open world game. Content and probably storytelling even are going to be stronger in The Last of Us Part 2, at least that's what they're aiming for, than any of their other games. They're incredibly ambitious with this game from a single player standpoint, and at the end of the day, I think people are playing Naughty Dog titles for the single player. Uncharted 4 had great multiplayer. I thought The Last of Us Part 1's multiplayer was quite good, but delivering a high quality, captivating single player experience is absolutely the goal from Naughty Dog, and if we're going on multiplayer for now will offer us an even more compelling single player portion, I think that's for the best. Obviously, they want to realize that multiplayer vision at some point, whether that be in a new Uncharted game, whether it be in a follow-up title, whether it be in a standalone expansion, whatever the case may be, it will happen at some point, just not in The Last of Us Part 2 from the get-go. And lastly, I do want to note that Mafia 2 and Mafia trademarks have surfaced, which could mean more Mafia in our lives. Take-Two Interactive registered 3 Mafia trademarks back in August. This has led to speculation of a remastered edition of Mafia 2 and a new Mafia game in the works. It's possible we're looking at a remastered version of Mafia 2 for current-gen consoles, and Mafia 4 might also be in the works, even though the game was set to be scrapped by Hangar 13 to work on an unannounced AAA title. Of course, Hangar 13 did do Mafia 3. Mafia 3 I thought was a pretty good game, although was a little bit disappointing because of my grandiose expectations, but Mafia 2 was an awesome game, and that's why I had such high expectations for Mafia 3, because Mafia 2 was so awesome. But nonetheless, this could also mean that Take-Two and 2K Games could just be renewing the Mafia 2 trademark, which does happen from time to time, although it does seem a little bit sudden, but just don't get too excited yet. But I think a lot of people would be all over a Mafia 2 remaster. Throw in the DLC in there, price it accordingly at, say, $29.99, and I would be all over that on the PlayStation 4. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the PlayStation Store is running a pretty good flash sale right now. Some pretty good deals a part of that from Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition, Control, Yakuza Origins Bundle, Team Sonic Racing, and much more. While The Last of Us Part 2 won't have multiplayer, at least not immediately, maybe it could be a standalone expansion or something separate, Naughty Dog is intending to keep their multiplayer vision alive, and they want to translate that into a future game. And new Mafia trademarks could mean a new Mafia title, and Mafia 2 Remastered are in the works. Do not get get too excited yet, but this is something we could see in the future. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.